call on Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So owe me something.
After paper hour.
Justin, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. Before you start, I've got to have a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay.
A motion by Supervisor Frazier, second by Supervisor Wood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, now it's you
All right.
have the floor.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And it is still morning. I got a lot of maintenance items to go over on my presentation today. First one is the roof at Riverside Station. We were informed by Jeff Tennyson and Paul Butler that there was an apparent leak at Riverside Station in the roof. We did some research. I say research because my guys are there 5 days a week and hadn't noted a leak. But what we did find is that it doesn't appear that there's a leak in the roof, but there is some damage to the northern portion of the roof. So we will be fixing that. We were supposed to do it this morning. Rain came through, so it'll likely get pushed off until tomorrow. But we will remedy that situation. Riverside Station, probably within the year, not the calendar year, but within a year from today, will need the entire roof replaced. That's going to be a big price tag, probably somewhere around 15 grand. So nothing to really worry about today, but it's just something that we'll want to make sure that we address before the whole roof gets so bad that we're starting to get leaks all over the place. Bridge and culverts. Working with Jeff and Paul through the 2015 bridge inspection, we're doing a lot of vegetation management and just general repairs. We've completed the vegetation management as prescribed by the bridge management plan on all of the bridges and culverts along the line. Now we're going to be doing the same thing on our line north of North Creek. As part of that, we have noted 2 bridges that will need to be redecked, and we are definitely going to do one of them this year, and likely the other one will be next year. The one we will be doing this year crosses over North Creek in the village of North Creek at milepost 94.19. The cost to redeck that bridge is going to be somewhere around $50,000 without including any labor. SNC will absorb that cost. The next one will be in Thurman, crossing over 9 Mile Brook at milepost 71.1. That will likely be completed next spring. Cost-wise, we don't have all the numbers pulled together just yet, but it will likely be in the same neighborhood as the bridge in North Creek. The third bridge that we're going to be looking at, we have probably about 3 more years left on the deck on the Hadley Trestle crossing over the Sacandaga River. I think we're all familiar with that particular bridge. It's located at milepost 59.06. That's going to be a big project. So, again, no cause for alarm here. This is not an emergency repair by any means. This is general bridge maintenance. So, we also, just as a side note, we had to install a culvert just north of Hadley Station. No big deal there. Vegetation management, the weed spray occurred June 13th north of North Creek and June 14th south of North Creek, so that has been completed this year. And I will update Paul and Jeff on when the 2016 bridge inspection will occur, which will likely at this point be in the fall, and the Sperry rail inspection for the rail flaw detection, that will definitely be in the fall. We like to do that because then whatever flaws we find, we can take our time through the winter and get them repaired. The Thurman caboose, we ordered a custom window for it. It will be delivered today. It has serving sliding windows on either side of the window with a picture window in between. We have held off moving in any equipment until that window is installed for obvious reasons. The other item that is being held up right now through the Department of Health, we need to get the water tested at Thurman Station because it's a well. We have to get it okayed as a public water source, so we're working with the Department of Health on that as well. North End Local will start July 1st. We added departures. I think I've stated this before, but I'll just bring it up again. We added departures on Monday, which is in addition to the past 2 years where we were typically just running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our ridership is getting stronger as we get closer and closer to the summer, which we're now in. Rail bikes. You may have seen the article that was in the Post-Star last week. Renegade Railriders they're stepping back a little bit because of the regulatory process that they needed to go through to get up and running with the Federal Rail Administration has taken a little longer than they had anticipated. They're looking at full operations in 2017. They are going to start this year, and as the article indicated, it's going to be mainly demonstrations for area businesses, any supervisors who would wish to see what this is all about. It also gives them an opportunity to test out their new design for their rail bike, which is, it's not a design that's been proven anywhere before. It's something that they came up with themselves. Any other questions that you may have about them, if you want to direct them to me, I can put you in touch with Rob Hart or Gustav Camp. This is their business, so obviously they know it much more intimately than I do. Spoke with General Manager from NARCOA, that's the North Atlantic Railcar Association. They will be coming back to our railroad this year. Most of the time they did their tours in the spring. This year they wanted to do them in the fall. For those of you who aren't aware of what they are, it's probably up until the 1980s they used to have these little motor cars that they would use for maintenance of way purposes along the line. They phased that out once they started using high rail trucks, which are regular trucks equipped with high rail gear. So those were phased out. Well, people bought those up once they were being phased out, and they formed all these little groups, and now they tour all around the country. So it's good for the area. It's a multi-night event. They come in and they travel south to Saratoga one day, and then north to Tahoe the next day. So they generally stay over in North Creek, and it's a good event. So anyway, they're looking to come in late September, early October during peak leaf season. The Upper Hudson Valley Wine Trail has confirmed their event for August 20th. It will be held in North Creek, and they are pairing up, just because the events are happening at the same time, they're pairing up with the event in Hadley called Cycle Adirondacks. The families that are staying over there during the event are, they're looking for things to do, so we're offering a ticket from Hadley up to North Creek so that they can join in on that event. The Upper Hudson Valley Wine Trail is anticipating around 1,000 participants in this event, so it'll be a very, very nice event for the town of North Creek. Lastly, over the next 6 months, I'm going to be bringing with me one of my managers from one of our departments, just to put a face in front of you all so that you can see that there's more to the SNC than just me or Ed. This month I wanted to bring Natalie Jaret. She is our manager of passenger services, so it's okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to invite her up so she can say a few words about what she does for us.
Sure.
Thank you. Is there any questions about anything I presented?
I did have one thing I wanted to
Okay.
ask you. I had
Sorry, Natalie.
somebody ask me or bring to my attention the Barton Mines crossing.
Yes.
On the road. They've had some vehicle damage, and if you could.
We went up and we did patch the pothole that was in Barton Mines Road. We have a quote to pave that road. It's $1,800, and we will be doing that.
Okay, thank you.
We're using round paving.
Just a question, that roof repair that you spoke of,
Yes.
Were we looking at what's going to be the approach on that in terms of, were we looking for a joint initiative? Is it one party? Is it both? What were you looking for there?
We just started that conversation, and obviously we'll have to check the contract language. It is it's beyond its useful life, so this wasn't this is a matter of normal aging of a roof.
Stay tuned.
So, there may be some other funds available through the Heritage or through the wilderness, corridor, that, grants that Wayne has. So there might be some, funds available that.
So you'll be back to us on that.
Right.
We'll be making the repairs ourselves, you don't have to worry about that. Just the current repair, not replacing the entire roof, we'll be handling ourselves. Okay. Natalie?
My name is Natalie Jaret. I'm the manager of passenger services for the railroad. I was born and raised in the town of Lake Luzerne, so I'm local to the area. I work on anything passenger related. My day-to-day operations, I do food service orders, I do staff training, special event planning. So, any questions?
Did all the questions from passengers then too?
Yes.
Jill?
I had a quick question. I noticed recently on Travel Zoom, you guys put up an ad for train rides. Yeah. Have you gotten a good reply or a good response?
That just went up actually, so actual numbers.
I think that's great.
It's been about a week.
It's great marketing. Hopefully we get a good response.
Natalie,
Thank
what's the
you.
most asked question by your customers?
Well, people are, I think, most generally amazed that we do all of our food preparation and cooking on the train itself. And a lot of them like to go down and take a little peek in the kitchen. Our dome kitchens are only about 9 by 6.5 feet. And everything's made from scratch in those little kitchens. So people like to take tours and walk through the train.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the agenda, we'll turn it over to Ed Zibral.
Can I introduce him?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ed is the founder and the event coordinator for the Warrensburg Bike Rally, which is held annually for the last 4 years. This year's rally was from June 1st to June 13th, so it's already been held at the fairgrounds.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's that time of year again. We're back. We had a great rally. Our rally is growing each year, where other people are saying their rally is slowing down. I just got the traffic reports yesterday. I told both Jeff and Paul, in 2014 we had 41,000 plus cars, bikes, and trucks there. We don't charge, so we don't have an attendance count that people that come and go as far as buying any tickets. 2015 we had 52,009. This year we had 61,248. So we are growing. There's been some articles about people are not riding their bikes anymore because they're getting old. Well, people don't stop riding their bikes. I think they take them right to the graves with them. They're converting them to trikes. They're putting that. If anybody was biased, they saw the Voyager, which is a factory company. That's a trike conversion kit that can be put on the bike and taken off in 15 minutes. So the guys can ride 2 up with their buddies or put it on to ride with their wives. So it's very, very helpful to keep the motorcycle group growing. We had Red Cross there. They raised 15 units of blood. Hopefully they'll raise 50 next year if they get their act together. Because I had one girl walking around with our free T-shirt. They donated the blood. And then she was gone at 1 o'clock. And everybody stayed in their buses until around 3 o'clock when they pulled the bus out of the parking lot. We have entertainment right through 7 o'clock. Coming year, we're going to have the Battle of the Bands. We're going to bring local bands in to compete as each other with a nice $1,000 prize at the end of the week, which is going to, again, further promote local people. And if any of you people from different towns have ideas or circulars you'd like to have us hand out, if you just contact me, I can have my people, as they're at the gate, when bikers are leaving, hand out the merchandise promoting either your restaurants or a campground or whatever you have in the area that makes it grow. Because we're one big team, we're not just one single unit such as somebody else is. And Our rally's not patterned after theirs. Theirs charges money, we don't charge. The vendors pay for everything, and that's what supports it, so. Again, I put in for my extension of the contract, 'cause 2017 is the last of this contract. I'm looking for a 10-year extension, because we want the rally to stay in the area. We want to grow the rally with more events, more items, and more things to do, so. Any questions? I'll be glad to help with the answers if I have them.
I'll just comment, I noticed an increased amount of, motorcycles up in Brant Lake in our area.
Yeah.
And,
We had, just that Friday alone on the 10th, we had 8,264 cars, bikes, and trucks there. And remember, it was raining all week.
Yeah.
We had rain, but the people, they come in there, right, they put their gear on, they don't stay in the motels, they ride up, they don't ride far, but they come up to the rally because they can get inside the tents, they can shop, they can hang out, listen to music, we have food, and it makes a great spot for them to come to, you know?
Thank you. Mr. Conover?
Yeah, just a question for Brian, if he knows offhand, what the term was on the existing arrangement?
I don't.
I think it is through 2017, right?
17.
Yeah, but what was the term on that? Through seven
I think we
years?
did a 5-year,
We did a 5.
so we're coming up on the end of the 5, yeah.
Yep.
And I have to say, from our perspective, Ed and his team are very low maintenance and easy to work with, and we've had no problems with any of their events, no issues, no concerns, at least from our perspective, on the event.
No questions? Well, thank you for listening to me, and come to the rally. We got Elvis up there every day from 12 to 4. It's Joe Ramsey. He finished third in the Lake George program. And I think this Battle of the Bands is going to be something. We're also thinking about having on Saturdays, both Saturdays, a bike corral where we're rope off the area, where people can bring their show cars, park them, and as well as the bikes, and just for more things for people to do. We didn't have the helicopter this year because it was too high winds, so Bruce couldn't bring the helicopter over. That was a big thing for last year. People really like that. Especially if they're touring the area, they can get around to see what's around here besides just the fairgrounds and where they're staying. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next next item, is a request for Lion Timber, Warren County license agreement for Hague Snowmobile Trails, and this is done every year.
Do you have a motion to move this to the floor? Supervisor Wood?
I don't know if I should or not, but can I second the motion?
Supervisor Frazier? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
The next one is also for snowmobiles. Warren County, City of Glens Falls, and the South Warren Snowmobile Club providing for licensing use of trails, trail development, and trail maintenance in the City of Glens Falls. And this is again done annually.
Somebody like to move that? Supervisor Wood, seconded by Supervisor Sokol. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move to DPW.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chairman. On page 1 of the agenda is a request to close a capital project. This is for H-298, which is the 2 bridges in Stony Creek we completed a few years ago. This will close the project and return $1,224 back to the funding source.
Motion by Supervisor Conover, seconded by Supervisor Wood. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
On page 2 is a request to amend the county budget. This is to receive an insurance recovery payment of $31,000 and change.
What was this in relation? Okay. Do you have a motion to move this to the floor? Supervisor Conover, seconded by Supervisor Sokol. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
On page 4 is a request to backfill position. This is a highway construction supervisor 2 position, and this is a foreman position for my South End crew. The prior foreman resigned and took a private sector position.
Motion to move it to the floor? Supervisor Frazier, second Supervisor Conover. Any discussion?
Just a quick question. What's the grade differential here?
This is a grade 16.
Grade 16 in the previous, grade,
It's a grade 16 position.
it says, the foreman position, would be a grade, same grade?
This is, right, the title, the civil service title is Highway Construction Supervisor 2, but commonly we call him our crew foreman. He's
Okay.
the number one guy on the south end crew.
Okay, if we're ready for the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
On page 5 is a request to transfer funds. This is transfers from our salary codes, salary and benefits codes over into road projects where, obviously personnel were used.
Okay, would somebody like to move this to the floor? Supervisor Conover, seconded by Supervisor McDonald. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, you'll see on the pending items list, we're still in communication with DEC for the household hazardous waste collection grant, and nothing new to report on that. Under items for discussion, we did complete the Queensbury event for the household hazardous waste on Saturday. We had 278 vehicles come through. Everything went very smoothly. Of the 278, I think 199 were pre-registered. We had about 80 show up that registered on site, but everything went very smooth, and it was a busy day for them. The contractor actually came in, started about 10 minutes early, and stayed about 15 minutes late, but we didn't have any major delays or anything like that, and it went very smooth. Just as I'll be reporting back certainly when we get the grant and we have our final costs for the entire event. I guess I'd like input from the committee on how we want to do this in future years. Kind of what I'm thinking or what I'm recommending is we do this again next spring. I think these two locations worked very well for us, and then reassess next spring after we do another event and whether we want to do it annually or every other year. I think we might get a reduction next year. Hopefully a lot of things came out of basements this year, and then maybe we can do it every other year going forward. But I'll be back with the grant hopefully. Looks like end of July or August we'll be getting the grant funds.
Okay.
Okay. I have some photos to pass around for some county road projects. There's some paving photos on Murray Road, Bay Road, and Harrisburg Road. So our season's going well. We're off to a good start, and also have some pictures of the Market Street Bridge and at the Mill Pond, Brant Lake. And I have the typical overtime and fuel reports attached to the agenda, but that's all I have for report.
Supervisor Conover?
Yes, on the overtime report, it might be more useful rather than using an average on the bottom, maybe doing a median measure throughout the extremes. There might be a year, for example, that, like what happened to Bolton and Berman, where, the weather just went haywire.
Okay.
And it might be better in averaging these numbers if we use the median measure as opposed to an average. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Maybe there's an argument against that, I don't know, but I think it would help us in looking at this chart, that's all. Or maybe or include a median measure. All that's on the computer anyway, so it's not.
Yeah, sure. Easy enough.
Okay, anything further from the committee? Other supervisors?
As someone that has been critical in the past about our paving crews, I have noticed improvement in this year's paving. The rebates have come in better. Crews seem to be actually shimming the roads before they do full coating.
Okay, with that, motion adjourned. Let's count over. So,